Going with the Kingpin.
Not really. Just wanted it. It wanted something different for summer because my head gets so thick.
Yeah.
Granted, I'll shave it a couple more times before summer, but.
Well, we at least both got haircuts ahead of time, so we're good. Matt, did you get a haircut recently too?
I trimmed my beard.
Good enough. This week we all got haircuts. This will be called Haircut Week.
Alright. So must be
Cthulhu Realms developed. I don't think this is the right one at all. There we go.
No, I switched it.
I hate how there's like this weird light thing on the bottom of my screen.
Okay,
I don't know why that is.
What's our episode and all that stuff? Remember?
I have no idea.
Should probably stop playing with that. It's making loud noises. This episode we have Optimus Prime versus Triceratops.
Nice. I have really close face here. I have a dragon versus a pirate duck.
The dreaded pirate duck. God,
It was
just leaves
actually-
his toys.
It's actually my my muse for the NaNoWriMo this past year.
Gotcha. There we go. Optimus on a motorcycle going against Triceratops. Oh, and there's a stamp here too. We tell him to leave all of his toys in the toy room, and it never seems to happen.
And I have my handy Doctor Strange pop.
That is awesome.
It's like this present was amazing.
All right, guys. It is 9 o'clock. Technical setup is off.
No!
All right, welcome to Word Art Online. We're just getting things squared up here a little bit. I got to get my Trello notes in. Word Art Online. Every good story begins with a single blank page. How will you fill your story, and how will you go on the hero's journey of becoming a writer? That is what we explore here on Word Art Online, and every week we get together and talk writing, talk geek stuff. Sometimes we go on tangents a lot. We try to stay on topic. Guys, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Two first. Me, I guess, since I talked first, or
Yeah, go
Matt,
for
since
it.
it's already. I am Ben. I am a husband, a dad, a movie enthusiast, a podcaster, a software tester, a writer, a Doom bringer. Actually, I really wish I was a Doom bringer. That'd be awesome. But I, along with Joe and Matt here, I've done NaNoWriMo. Now I've done it for 2 years. First year I won. Second year I was 2,500 words short because I took the 4-day weekend that is Thanksgiving. I haven't published anything other than a poetry book, Once Upon a Time, that wasn't edited, so good luck trying to read that. But other than that, I'm working on eventually getting everything published and going. Just haven't done it.
You've been busy.
Yep.
All right, go ahead, Matt.
All right. Well, I am Matthew E Nordin. I actually just recently published, within the last 6 months, a poetry book called Musings of the Northern Poet. I have a copy of it here in hardback, which you can get for $20 or $19.50 on Amazon. I will put a link here in just a moment in the chat as soon as it catches up. I also have a short story that I published as well. It's a flash fiction, so it's less than 500. Well, no, I think it's less than 1,000 words. just over 500, called XR404, and that one is also available on Amazon. Oh, I think I linked that one first, and then my Musings one is here. You can also find my flash fiction on Wattpad, but yeah, get 35 cents if you buy it on Amazon, so that's great. I also am currently in the process of a major edit. Where did it go? Oh, yes, my major edit of this work in progress that is over 60,000 words and soon to be a novel, which I'm very excited. Hopefully that comes out this year. It will be a sci-fi kind of modern story, so it'll be exciting.
Matt's a lot more ambitious than the rest of us.
Yep.
I'm Joe. I'm one of the other hosts. I am also known as Shadow Fox, SHAD0FX. I am proud father, freelance writer, aspiring game designer. Current project is working with Harsh Realities as a writer on their upcoming Seafaring campaign setting called Elfwood. I'm also working on my first game release called Escape from the Con, which should be ready for beta testing at Constellation this year, which is about a month away. So I got a lot of work to do and less time to do it in. So, it's exciting. You guys can find more about word art online and the cast here at our website, which is www.wowcast.com. That's WAOCAST.com. You can also follow us on Twitter. We're at WordArtOnline, the number 1. They're on the Twitterverse, so we usually chat pretty regularly and follow each other, and there's quite some hilarious antics that go on. I think this week I was listening to an inspirational thing from the Forbidden Kingdom, and the deal where Jackie Chan's talking about a butcher can have kung fu, whose knife, cuts through meat and never touches bone, or the painter who paints words with paints words with like ink or whatever, and makes the poet can be has kung fu. And so this week I kind of focused a little heavy on that, because this too is kung fu. We practice our art every day. I don't know about the rest of these guys, but we practice it and try to hone that craft, and that's what we're here for, to help ourselves keep accountable and help each other get motivated. Guys, why don't you introduce what we are doing this week with the collaboration story?
Well, there's a couple things. We can continue building the world in a way, but I thought we were going through Matt's character builder, if I remember right, and we each picked out our personal thing and a secret, or personal item, I should say.
We never came up with the one alien captain's name either.
Yep, we should probably work on his character as well. So let's come out with his name.
There is something I would like to add with Asher, and it's something that I think would be an interesting subplot. It always threw me off for why is her brother, if we go with the story, the idea that we have currently, why is her brother so protective of her? And why does he have that Captain America type mentality, the strong, the protect others kind of thing? And it got me to thinking...
if their family was the way, like you were explaining, it makes sense.
Right. But I'm kind of thinking there's going to be a little bit more to it, because they didn't really the dad didn't discover them till later, and I'm kind of thinking that I want Asher to either have been born without an arm, without like her forearm, so she's just got the up to the elbow, or she was born without from the knee down, with one of her legs. I think it'd be kind of interesting to have a deformity like that from birth.
It could be. There could have been the fact that maybe they were homeless for a while and he was the only one to watch her. Maybe, basically at one point in time he had to take care of her, and thus became that way.
Yeah.
Now, the reason could be several reasons. Maybe she had ammonia as a kid.
Yeah.
It could have been. I mean, you could make her legless. Legless. You have her being an archer already, so
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, we could have her go with the let's have her go with like the missing leg, and
Just because of the pun.
yeah, for giggles. But the other flip side too, though, is like, you know, I keep watching. Of course, I have a 6-year-old, and you know he's watching a lot of these cool heroic movies, and they have. We just watched the movie Moana, and you know it's really cool to see that Disney's coming out with a lot of these strong female characters, which is fantastic. I love that. I'm still waiting for a Legend of Zelda.
They still haven't came out with one as strong as Mulan.
Right.
I mean, I haven't watched Moana yet. I need to.
Oh, it's so good.
I just got it. But like when they said strong female characters and they came out with the movie Brave, she was nowhere near Mulan level.
No. This I think was probably on par with Brave, but you know, it's like I'm still waiting for a Legend of Zelda game where you have Zelda is the protagonist, where you know Link has to go off, or Link is away saving another kingdom, and she has to step up to the plate to fight. But it kind of occurred to me, like watching Moana, I'm like, how many more people could this movie touch if you had a strong female character who was also deformed? You look at I'm reminded of the show. Was it
Battlestar?
No, the one about the feels, Inside Out. And I know
that feels.
Yeah, I know you guys didn't want to do like the whole depression, anxiety, and stuff like that, and a lot of that's internal because that's extremely difficult to do, and we might offend people if we do it wrong. But I think having somebody with a physical deformity that's going through a great challenge, it adds depth to the story, and I think it'd be kind of fun for our story to throw that in there.
Just like my guy hears voices.
Could, yeah. I mean, that's...
Turns out it's just the Bob and Tom show.
I was kind of thinking, was that a turkey? Anyway, sorry, I'm doing something I shouldn't be. But yeah, so that's kind of a direction.
Looking at turkey porn?
No. No.
Is it that gift that I always send?
No.
For those who don't know, I send as Matt called it, the twerky. It's a gift of a turkey that does twerking with gravy getting poured on it. It's ridiculous. And apparently Joe is showing us how he's been playing video games this entire time. And he got complaining that Matt used to play Diablo.
Hey, I'm not on the screen. I'm still focusing. So is Matt. So is Matt, though. But
I think Matt was focusing even more because he wasn't on the screen.
yeah,
Diablo was on the screen.
I just ran into a creature that I hadn't seen before. That's all. So anyway, back to the story. By the way, robotic dinosaurs and robotic turkeys. Awesome idea. What do we want to talk about the captain?
So I think where we were at was that he. Okay, so the opening scene.
He's not a captain. He was actually a scientist, but we always called him captain.
Yeah, because he was just like there, and he was like a human sympathizer.
Yep. And the reason why we didn't name him and we just called him captain was because we couldn't pronounce his name.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's why we just call him captain. Can't pronounce his name. Okay, I'm gonna add that.
Because he's an alien. I mean, he's a fourth-dimensional alien. Like, dimension. He can say his name in all kinds of weird time delays and whatnot.
So then he shows up and he's trying to like free us, and so he finally gets to the point where he can free us, and then we've all escaped, and it's like, dang it.
Yep. But what is his secret item, and what is his secret? Well, his secret is obviously him being a dirty human lover. Or whatever we are, because we're not exactly from Earth 1.
Yeah.
Always called Earth, or was it called something different? Because we have...
I'm getting some weird sound from you guys. I don't know if it's translating onto the site, but it's lagging up pretty good here.
Oh. I'm hearing everything just fine. I mean, I can see it spinning on the side occasionally, but I don't...
Okay, it's probably just my computer. I just wanted to make sure it's not coming through chat or live stream. We do want to keep everybody updated. Hang on. The chat on Twitch, if you're watching this on Twitch, is there's about a 10-second delay between there and what we hear or what we read. So give us a few seconds when you chat to let us respond to it. Gives us a chance to...
And then there'll be another 10 seconds till you'll actually see your chat pop up.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's annoying, but it is what it is. But yeah, if we run into technical difficulties like that, keep an eye on chat, because we're pretty good about letting everybody know. For those of you that would like to chat in as far as your ideas, this is a collaborative story between all of us, including chat, and we'd really like to get your guys' input. And if you go to the doc that Matt posted, and you can view our progress and see what we're doing, see how we're doing. If it's something you'd like to watch or read, that is of a great benefit for us. So, yeah. So we go ahead and keep going with the story, guys. With what you guys were.
Well, we need to come up with so the captain's obvious. His secret is obvious that he's a dirty human lover. And actually, weren't you talking last week, Joe, about him possibly being a relative of ours?
Yeah.
Like our Earth spawned off of him, particularly?
Yeah. One of the ideas that I had...
Your experiments.
Was basically the alien race a long time ago was either... there was some catastrophic event, and they cast themselves out into the stars. And a lot of different planets out there developed with humanoid abilities or features. That allows for Earth itself to be Earth Prime, which is what we are on right now, and then our Earth, the creature that or the Earth that we are from. That our characters are from, excuse me. It allows them to have the powers that they do, and some of the story twists that we can have. Plus, it allows us to play later on with some, if we actually do end up on Earth Prime. I guess it's really not. It wouldn't be called Earth. It'd be called our planet. Would be called something else. But
well, no. Remember how they wanted to keep everything so the same but different at the same time? Yeah. So that's why we've been pulled out, because we were causes of great growth that they didn't want to have. So it's possible the name is still Earth. We don't want the name to change.
Well, it could be Terra. It could be Terra. I mean, that's the common.
Yeah. I'm now getting some clicking. Is that me or? Yeah, that was me.
But okay, so the basically.
Well, let's think of it this way. So with that going on, if that's the case, genetically, maybe the fourth dimensional beings can no longer reproduce, and this was their last bit of it. And this guy actually feels fatherly in a way, like he's actually always wanted kids, and we're technically his kids in a way. So he doesn't want anything to happen to us, and he actually wants to raise us in a way of his own. Yeah, some of us are fully grown, but not in his, because he's, again, a fourth-dimensional being, and so he sees us all as children no matter what.
Something we did mention, we talked a little bit about having the timelines. The reason why that he picked us is because we're all part of the
Sorry.
genetic timeline, the same genetic timeline, and it's
Oh yeah, like the domino effect. That's right.
yeah. When one person is plucked out of the timeline, there's thousands and thousands of possibilities that stem from that one decision. And so we were thinking that that's why we were collected, was because the timeline was changing. And, it could be that this guy is afraid that his existence is in jeopardy, or, somehow it's connected to...
Well, it's also that he saw us as we created, between the three of us, let's say Matt started a template for something that you grew that I ended up growing, and created one of the greatest inventions of all time.
Yep.
Between the three of us, based on just throughout time and how history grew. And because of that, he sees this great potential in us, and he knows of it, but we're supposed to be destroyed, and he just can't take that his loins produce something so great, and they just want to destroy it.
Yeah.
So, okay, I have a quick question. So, what era is Asher from?
I was thinking modern.
Okay, so she's modern, and Ben's is future.
Yep, and your past. So basically, you come up with this idea, or you make a theory that basically, because of your bardness, maybe you create a theory of basically an AI, because of your intelligence of people and whatnot. From there stems Joe, who creates the first AI.
Mm-hmm.
From there creates me, which is the first ship that has AI capabilities, or something like that, because I'm a mechanic more like that. And so, in a couple years from the future now, before our lifetime would end, technically we would have had space travel with AIs by now, like in this near future. If it wasn't, but all three of us got removed from the timeline, so nothing like that ever happened.
Okay, yeah. So I have Hester started the concept of AI. Asher creates an AI, and then Bobby makes an AI ships.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Because we need an AI ship to do interstellar travel, because it would take so long that we'd have to be put to sleep, and the AI would have to drive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just like in that one movie with Chris Pratt and what's her name? I haven't seen yet. Passengers.
Yeah. J-Law.
Yeah, we have a sequel. We have a sequel coming, don't we? Or no? I was thinking the wrong movie. Sorry. I think Chris Pratt. And I'm
well,
thinking,
there's a sequel with
I'm
Chris Pratt in
Guardians.
space. Yeah, there's a sequel where he drives a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I mean, wait, what?
Something like that.
So the reason why is because it would create interstellar travel beyond the other Earths.
Yep. And basically, if we create interstellar travel, that means we could go out and possibly find another Earth, and the rest of the Earths are just not ready for interstellar travel.
Yeah.
And us creating it so early, it's like, well, crap. And then they found out that, hey, if we just remove these three people from the timeline, it never happens.
Just call them planets instead of planets.
Vash Stampede apparently was a plant. He was a plant person.
Alright. So then the first... So I'm trying to think. So we want to kind of structure this pretty well as far as our plot goes.
Gotcha.
So, and then we just kind of follow the hero's journey through this.
So that's why we were pulled out of our time.
Mhm.
This guy again, as he's A, our progenitor, B, if you think of that, if you had some kids that like really just wowed the crap out of you, would you really want to let them just die?
Okay, there's a chart here in the doc that I don't know what it means.
Is it Joe's giant table?
It's like, it says opening scene, focus on who alien wants to help for the captives, and there's like a done number, POV character, one-line scene
Yeah,
description.
that was breaking down scenes.
Okay.
It's basically just a hey, this is the type of scene, this is different elements of it, kind of to help keep us on track.
Okay, so do we want to do that for the first one then, or
I don't care.
are we still world building?
Do we want to continue character building, world building, or do we want to just hop into this? Like, I mean, with our characters, technically, in our mind, we think we have them built, but we haven't built them up to the process of an actual going through, like, someone's character sheet. Like, I haven't picked out my guy's favorite song, or stuff like that. That just kind of adds flavor to the character that makes you think, it makes you understand the character more. Then there's also, I think we got the background of the world. We're getting pretty good as we're going. No, do we want to finish Matt's character sheet thing?
Yeah, we could.
Or
Well, it's really long.
well, how about this? We answer 2 to 3 questions an episode.
Okay.
That way we continue character building, as well as building the whole story as well. Maybe.
That's true. Because
Because we need to continue building the characters as well as build it all.
And we could develop that as we go, too.
yeah.
Yeah, we need to do. Well, we gotta develop a way to get this like going. But this is a collaborative story. And it's kind of live. We need to since it's live, we have certain. We don't want it to be too boring, so therefore we're gonna have to do things a little bit differently. Thus, answer three character questions in an episode. Answer, then create a scene or something.
I just linked in the chat the thing for its character sheets. There. So we can pick a few of those because it's, like I said, it's pretty scripted. And actually, let's see, what would be a good way to do this. I mean, we could definitely talk about their motives, their primary and secondary objective in the story. Well, I don't know if we've actually even figured that out yet in the story itself.
The only person who's figured out their motive is you. You want to create the greatest joke of all time, or at least a template for it.
That's his secret.
I think my guy just wants to make a name for himself and to get respect, because his entire life he's been disrespected. To be honest, it could be something as simple as I just want someone to respect me. Because my entire life I've been shut down, yelled at, screamed at, and there's only ever been one person who ever, believed in me. And as soon as I got out of college, first thing that happened was I got arrested for something I didn't do. Just because of who I was. So really, the kid's probably just out for respect.
All right,
Or my kid is, anyways.
So that's his. I'll put that up here. His primary objective, and you can follow along in our document. And then sometimes a secondary objective the character may not even really know about or realize that they're doing. So that can be something too. That their overall thing, and then hidden thing.
They're hidden agenda.
More of like a internal objective. Well, I guess yours would be your perspective is more of an internal thing.
So, so that would be the secondary.
Yeah,
I need
so
a
it would
primary.
be like an actual physical thing. Just do in the story. Did we lose Joe?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
I'll tell you that. That's a good question. Like, what is my primary goal in life as this character? I mean, he literally was, his primary goal originally was to become one of the best mechanics in the world. To show this guy who basically raised him that what he did. So basically, it's still probably to be now would be probably be the best mechanic in the galaxy.
I think
He's always worked to be the best, the very best that no one ever was. To catch all the blueprints is my real test. To train the blueprints is my cause. I will travel across the space. What were you saying, Joe?
I was thinking Asher just simply find a place to belong.
There's your secondary. Where's your main?
That is my main.
Where? Oh, okay.
Well, that would be the internal one. So
Yeah.
there's like an
What's your
actual
external?
like physical one that will that they can do in the story.
I have no idea.
So mine is like to become the best mechanic there is. Matt's to find this joke. Matt needs an internal one too.
Yeah. It's,
So you've got your internal one, so maybe your external one is to basically, is it to create the first AI? Is it to,
understand AI? Well, yeah,
Understand.
exactly.
Find a way home.
is it,
That's true. Yeah, just to get home. That's.
you actually want to go home? I'm fine.
And that could be like the secondary objective too. Is actually to find home, like find home / a place to belong.
Yeah.
All right.
My guy will probably see this as a place to belong because he's never belonged anywhere else.
So okay, my guy is depressed and understands the secondary objective. He wants to find the greatest joke, but at the same time he just wants to.
Watch your health, dude.
Maybe he's.
Well, the thing is you want to make people laugh. That's your main, like, with trying to find the greatest joke, you want to make people laugh, you want to make people happy. Therefore, some of the happiest people are the most depressed.
But at the same time, could it be like a form of control? Like he wants to secretly control everything?
He wants the ultimate charm person.
So it could be like he's making people laugh because he wants them to obey him.
Yep.
I don't know.
Well, you just want everyone to be your friend. And if everyone's your friend, then they'll be loyal. Because trusting leads to thrusting.
That'd be the captain, wouldn't it?
Well, the captain, his main goal is to keep us safe. That's going to be his primary directive, is to keep his loins safe, I guess, in a way. Because, again, we're his children in a way, and he's chosen us to be his actual children. Like, he's going to take care of us. He's going to be our dad in a way, except he's not really a dad because some of us are adults. But
And then so his secondary objective would be to like live vicariously through his children,
yeah.
quote unquote.
That would be an interesting twist. He's Captain Jack.
But Matt with his, like, okay, so you have a joke. It would basically be the ultimate charm person. So if you had the ultimate joke, you could instantly charm anyone and break through their defenses.
I was saying that's like a great misdirect and stuff too. It's like you get someone laughing, they're not paying attention.
Sleight of hand.
What were you guys saying?
You are the ultimate robber. Well, we're saying Matt, he's looking for the greatest joke of all time, and they were thinking, well, that's it's a misdirect. So once he tells that, people start laughing a lot, and he has the ability to, I don't know, sleight of hand stuff.
You could be a kleptomaniac.
I pulled the joke on him and I didn't even realize it.
His goal is to collect something from every person that he's ever made laugh. Like a serial killer. It's like a serial killer, but it's a serial like Joker. Instead of killing you, he makes you laugh and then he steals something from you. It's like, haha, I made this person laugh once. That'd be weird. That'd be weird, but it would be kind of cool because instead of stabbing people, you just make them laugh and then you steal their shit as a trophy. I have slayed you with laughter.
Oh gosh, I can't spell.
You put the laughter in slaughter. It's like, so I thought about slaughtering people, but then I just dropped the S, and next thing you know, boom, I knew what I had to do.
So,
what's next?
I don't know.
Well,
you're the writer, dude. You're supposed to know these things.
Well, this was our character building. We did everyone's primary and secondary goal. And did we ever come out with well, we still need a primary thing for your character, Joe.
It was to go home.
Oh yeah.
To get home.
Weirdos.
So, I guess we could probably start chapter 1, building the scene, and then kind of go from there. I don't know. It just depends on like how much you want to spend on character and how much you want just to have the characters develop through the plot.
Have the characters develop through it. I mean, that's.
Well, we'll do that. We'll continue with Matt's sheet every time, and we'll ask questions. And if the character has changed since the beginning, we can word that.
Yeah.
For now, we'll probably want to start building the scene, the very first scene.
You're
as we stated,
to help us.
So as we wanted to start this, if I remember correctly, was he's looking at this big timeline where we're all on it, and he can click through us at the time, so it'll actually show little plots of our backstory. So, and then kind of like lead him into, and then it'll lead him into everything else. So that's kind of what I thought it was, is starts the timeline, he clicks Matt first, does a little Matt bio, comes off that, clicks Joe, does Joe bio, does the same thing with me, and some more story onto it about how we've done all these escapes, and leads from there. That's it. I think that's how we originally kind of planned it, if I remember right. That was Joe's vision, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Attention. Yeah. Got the video game going.
I don't have the video game going right now. I may or may not be on a loading screen.
Gotta turn it off because I don't know what to do here.
Well.
All right, so they're in the cell. They start off in the cell.
Well, here's the thing: is are we gonna start writing it, or are we gonna do the scene building thing that you had written up, Joe?
I don't know. I'm open to whatever ideas you guys want. Jeez.
Well, none of us have actually ever built a scene. We normally I think we all just write. Like,
Well,
have either one of you ever just actually outlined a scene? You've outlined a scene before, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I've done it before, like where. I mean, it's usually after I write the first draft, and I go back and figure out the scenes. So, I was like, here's
okay, since it's a collab and none of us really actually tend to write up a scene before writing the scene, we'll just ignore writing up a scene for now, and we'll just start this. We will start this biatch.
That's half the fun, dude.
All right.
So,
Thank you.
let's see. What do we want?
So
He has to
we're
have some
gonna
kind
focus on alien.
Yeah, and we were gonna start it like a journal in a way. But since he's a fourth dimensional being, how does he tell time? Was our first obstacle. We have to kind of.
I actually just watched Arrival, which is amazing, where it deals a lot with time and stuff like that. How there is no things can happen in the future that are talked about in the past, and things in the past can be talked about in the future, stuff like that. So
Things in the past and the future can happen simultaneously.
yes, so he, gosh, man, which I highly recommend. The movie is really good. But
I think I have it on my Voodoo. Maybe.
oh, it's great. But with this alien though, he's wanting to save these humans. So we need to figure out what are because he's probably not the only alien on the ship. So do we want to do his story of how he basically takes control of the others, or what happens to the other aliens?
We could start from basically. No, it's. I think it'd be best to kind of, in a way, to start with. Maybe start with the whole. Years ago, I sent my seed to planet Umblok.
That sounds weird, though.
Years ago, I sent my genetic material to Umblok.
Why not have it be kind of an overview of the cusp? I know CinemaSins always does sins on exposition, but it's hey, it is species 8659's. We could go up against the board. It's our
thing was
custom.
this is being written by first person of that dude, so if he kind of outlined everything, that'd be kind of weird. I mean, he could do it. Years ago, my species sent our genetic material out. Mine specifically went to Umblok 14.
I mean, if you want to use genetic seed, we can use genetic seed. I don't care. It just sounds weird.
Okay, I kind of remember how we were seeing it, that the timelines, the way he sees it is by events in the timeline, because it's not in a linear moment. It's different events can happen at different times, and some of the events are bigger than the way I picture it is there's a bunch of little dots that are in the screen, and some of the dots get bigger the more significant they are. Or ones that need to get too big need to be taken care of, and so he could be talking about the different dots along that, and then that's
and then later we'll go into the fact that that could be a big twist in the end.
Yeah.
Holy crap, you're our great too many greats grandfather too.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy. So okay, that would be kind of cool. So let's. I think if we start in kind of an artsy way, let's say in a way somebody go.
Oh, we just spoiled it.
There's a way. So if I in a lot of stories, I'm not as artistic as some, but they say, as I stared out into the balls of fire as they swirled around it, so that they're basically explaining stars in this very poetic way. Matt's more of a poet than I am, probably.
Okay.
So he's got a book on it and everything. Yeah. So it's as I stare out into the depths of time, at the spinning aberrations. I'm just using legends terminology right now because I don't know what exactly we want to call them.
Yeah.
I see some that have great potential, and we must destroy them or something like that. And see that hurts my soul. I don't know.
He could be receiving a report and reading a report. Another edict from high command. Like one of the other aliens walks in and says, "Hey, another edict from high command, or another message from high command," and the guy reads it, saying that there's another
Paradox wipe.
There's a message, or there's another person a person of interest in our that must be dealt with on our timeline. I don't know. And then he goes into thinking about, I don't know.
So do we want to start it with his perspective or the report?
Well, it would start off with his perspective because we're probably going to do everything in somewhat like we're going to do everything in first person probably, but this chapter specifically is his first person. It could be him reading the report would be easy enough, and then reaction to it.
So far I have the spinning apparitions of time grow before me with great potential. They must be destroyed. Such was decreed by the High Council. And then something like that. Maybe.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then, however, them being... no, that would be ruining the twist in the end. However, having seen them grow, age, and die several times in my studies, I have grown to care for a certain few that have wowed the socks off me. That's a horrible thing, but you know what I mean. That have that have the potential to be much more than destroyed aberrations.
I like that.
The grouping that will be destroyed today has created interstellar travel far beyond the years of all the other Earths. Or something, yeah.
Matt's a better linguist than both of us, so we'll just...
Yes.
I'm kind of just typing it up as we go.
Hey,
We'll reword it as needed.
Nothing wrong with that. That's what editing's for, right, Matt?
Yeah, I'd say this will all probably be thrown out and redone anyway, so
1,000 times
Yep.
over.
it's the first draft.
And that is when Deadpool entered.
That so it circles around that area. I don't know how to get there.
Okay, so yeah, he's looking at the report. Maybe one of the other people, like the other first mates, is talking to him a little bit about it.
I'm going to post what I have so far in the chat here. It's here. I mean, we can change that however, but that's kind of the general idea. So.
You actually add the Deadpool in your...
It happens, you know.
Deadpool just happens.
I mean, we're talking about different dimensions, so there's got to be a Deadpool somewhere.
Yeah.
Deadpool comes walking in, says the F-bomb, walks out.
This is not Fox.
Yep. Oh, if this story gets produced by Fox, it's not going to last one season.
Dun dun dun. So from there, it's the wasted potential in these specimens alone would be something worth seeing grow. Let's see. With all this destruction of the highest potential of our societies, in order to keep our planets similar, we're destroying the most creative, the most best. Kind of like have him go on this rant about how we're by trying to stay parallel, we are destroying that which makes every species so great.
Their species is trying to remain superior.
Yep. And trying to keep our own, so in trying to keep our own superiority, we are diminishing the potential of so many of growth, of scientific growth, scientific of a human growth, of all kinds of growth. We're just deleting this from the timeline because we want to remain superior. In this, I feel the only way for us to become superior is become something more, to allow the potential to grow, to cultivate the potential. In this stands my final decision, without ever telling anyone what his decision is, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that he doesn't realize that maybe he's part of a cult, or not a cult, but a little resistance sect.
Fix a little bit of it here. There's a little bit fixed here.
Ahab dies at the end of Moby Dick. No! Call me Ishmael!
Okay, here's kind of what I put here, and again, you guys can follow along. I'm gonna post a link here to the thing. Feel free to comment on this as well.
Oh, excuse me. I pulled a big no-no on the mic. You're never supposed to
like
know.
it.
Oh gosh, I can't even. Okay, what do they call it?
Well, I have a dog that wants me to let her out, and I'm like, you need to wait 10 minutes, dog.
If she just,
Please don't peel my carpet.
go outside, out back.
Yeah, probably.
Just go take her out, dude.
Okay, bye. I'll be back.
Okay.
Alright.
It'll give Matt and I a chance to talk about him.
Yeah. I like his beard. I don't know.
Piper. His dog's name is Piper. Piper. Doesn't need to go pee. Doesn't need to go to the bathroom anymore.
Trying to find something.
Should the captain have a dog?
Well, I mean, we kind of are in a way. the humans are.
Sure.
Think about it. Okay. I'm gonna try to put something, but I don't remember what they're called. I'm failing my nerd knowledge. Crap. What are they called? Oh no. Aerothermians. Oh my gosh. Alright. We missed you. You were like a flash, though.
Yeah, she has to go out and pee really bad. That was it.
So I think we actually got a pretty good start to this. At least we got kind of the first
Paragraph
here, I guess.
or atmosphere. Yeah.
And so then we can start going into where he's talking to the like the first mate or whoever.
We can have him go. Yeah, we can go through the first mate where he either goes through the people who need to be eliminated, and he talks about each. And maybe he transfers us into a specific holding where we're supposed to be eliminated. But in reality, that's where he's going to pick us up. We can go into the history of him arguing with the council, maybe at some point in time. Stuff like that.
Right.
Kind of cool.
So like, so something like that could happen is like he tries to convince to save them, and then like they're like, well, yes, but did you hear what like are they then it goes to them the story of them escaping or whatever.
Gotcha.
So maybe something goes terribly wrong where he is trying to convince them to save them, and in doing so it would defy the High Council, and the other aliens can't handle that, and something happens to them because of that or something to get them out of the picture.
Well, yeah, basically what could happen is he's like, even though it's been decreed, he brings it up to the High Council that because of this, they have gone far beyond what we have ever gone at this moment in time. Why would we destroy the potential of having something great? And kind of goes from there. And so you see he has this ruling with the High Council where they're very against him because, no, we are superior beings. We must keep the timeline pure. Delete the aberrations, kind of thing. So he has to have that meeting at some point in time where the council, like, he's tried to fight using the rules. Now he has to break them, kind of thing.
Yeah. And then that could be I'm just trying to think of how do we get rid of the other aliens on the spaceship.
Well, maybe the spaceship that we had, like, I was actually, in my mind, the way I was thinking of this is the spaceship we still is actually more of a time jumper than an actual spaceship. So it's more like, you know how like we're like maybe inside the Death Star, we take the Millennium Falcon kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we're more like taking a lifeboat in a way, even though it's still pretty dang big. And it's just made to go to pirate times. That's why it looks the way it does. But in reality, it's just a tiny portion of a giant. It's just a tiny escape pod, or something like that, or it's just a jumper. No one ever thinks of it. Or maybe it's like a fighter. It would be more like a jumper that kind of just goes through time to collect people.
Yeah, just observes. To just be like a pirate ship and stuff.
Yep. So, and that's the ship they send back to get people from a certain time period, and they bring them back to the mothership. And so where we're on is the mothership. That's how I've been thinking of it anyways. So the ship itself might not be used at that moment in time because maybe there's just no pirate aberrations at that moment in time. Or that time period, it doesn't have an aberration at this moment.
So he is like at the main ship with the High Council, and then they have to, and then they keep breaking out. Because I mean, the whole first chapter could just be about his sympathies and stuff like that for the humans and things like that, and then we go into the chapters that talk about like their actual escape.
Yeah.
And then he's like trying to convince them to free him, and the High Council's like, no, they keep escaping. And then it goes the stories of them actually escaping. And then like he finds them and they're like, okay, let's get out of here. We can't do this. I can't convince them.
So write it down as an outline, and we can start doing it. And if that way we remember next week. this is where we're at in the outline. So feel free to outline that, and we can do that. And that sounds good, actually.
Yeah.
Cat's fighting the dog. Oh no! I caught them sleeping together the other day. Had to take pictures. It was adorable.
Let me find here. Okay. Ship.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, you're supposed to help these dead moments because I'm typing.
Sorry about that. My voice might have my mouth moved, but I didn't actually talk. So I was telling the dog to leave, but she's not leaving.
Trying to remember what I said.
So it was what was it? It was so we go to his grief, then we go to like an escape plan, or through kind of our escapes, based on like why we shouldn't be allowed to live, kind of thing, via his escape plan, maybe. I think there was actually more in there, but I can't remember all of them. I just remember those were the main three.
All right, folks, that is is the bell for 10 o'clock. Keep in mind you can find more information about the Word Art Online hangout at wowcast.com. Follow us on Twitter. We'll be back next week. We will have the show listed on YouTube as soon as available.
Yep, and as soon as it's on YouTube, it should be also on Wildcast under the blog.
Yep, and we're usually pretty good about tweeting that out. So we want to thank you all for participating and being in. We had kind of a slow day, so which is fine.
Also, remember, if you're not on with us live and you comment on YouTube or our website, we will look at it the following week.
You can actually even just like right-click and comment directly on the document itself.
Yep.
With ideas or changes, any things you want to. So,
lots of ways to interact with us. Find out where we live in person. Find out where we live in person, and then come say hi. That's kind of creepy. Don't do that. But could be potentially fun. No.
Joe, there's time travelers knocking on my door. What happened?
That'd be funny. All right, folks.
What did we say?
For all of us at the Word Art Online Studios, we bid you good night. And for those of you getting ready for the snowstorm this weekend, we hope that you are safe. So, peace.